UV mapping can be made in two ways. Mirror, for example, the left part will repeat the right part completely with all the details. And you can make a unique one, so that there is a unique texture on all sides, because the pattern on the wood handle may be different or there will be some scratches, so I propose to make a full-fledged scan, so that there are no repetition. To do this, we add the mirror modifier by X and see that everything is clear and even. To match the vertices, turn on clipping and check if the central vertices are really in the center. We go to Edit mode, approach the center of the axe, and with Alt I click on this line. It should stand out completely along the contour. And if you have clipping enabled, then these vertices should stand still when we want to move them. I press G. Yes, can be careful because snapping is enabled. It must be turned off. And then press G, X and try to move them. If they all stand still, then everything is fine. If any vertex will move away, for example like this, let me show you for demonstration. Select all vertices in the center, turn on clipping and try GX. You see some verticals move. And if it moves, you first move it to the Z side, it sticks, and then GX and try again, and if all vertices are already standing still, then everything is fine. Apply this modifier. To apply it, you need to go to Object Mode, like this, and then apply it. Now do a UV mapping. Again we go into Edit mode. I choose Edges, Edge mode, or with number 2 on the keyboard. Select this edge, then with Ctrl select the next one. So that the camera does not rotate too wildly, you can press Alt middle mouse, center, and it will be more convenient for you. Rotate the camera. With Ctrl select this corner where the wooden part and the metal part meet. Select it along the contour. Now press the right mouse button, mark seam. We have marked that it will be a seam. This seam means that the model will be cut along these lines, along the red lines. Then we will have to do the same from above. Look, I will select this part. Like a bottle cap. The right mouse button, mark seam. This part will also be cut along the contour and the texture will be applied like this, from this view, from this side. And the bottom part, it can be expanded into a rectangle. We will cut it here. I'll select two edges, right click, mark seam, and it will cut here and along the contour. If you switch to polygons, select one polygon, then press L, all those polygons that go to the seam, that is, those that are bounded by the seams, will be selected. Here we have the UV map on the left, and on the right our model. We can zoom in, we can also numpad period. So here is the numpad period. We can center on the selected objects. Press the U key, unwrap. This part is expanded into a rectangle. That is, look, if I select two edges here, they are highlighted here. That is, we cut here, here and here. Along the contour we cut. It turns out this line, here it is selected, and the top line, and along the top line we also cut here. And it turned out such a piece. Take this into account. You can also select the top part, press U, unwrap. It will overlap on top, but we can see that is unfolded normally. We will then complete them after we make the seams on the entire model. Go back to Layout, tap Edit Mode and continue. Notice the lower edges. Again turn on the K display. I select this edge with Ctrl. Go along the contour like this. When I connected, right-click, mark seam. Here we will have a separation into another material. That is, here is the wood, and here starts the leather braid. So here on the contour I can press Alt and click the mouse and it will select in a circle. Right-click, mark seam. This part here can also expand into a regular rectangle. I choose right here, with Ctrl right here, right button, mark seam. That is, here all this will be connected together, cut only in this place, and the top and the bottom. Let's go below and look here. I select this edge, right button, mark seam. That is, we have already separated this leather handle. And now we need to notice some kind of central seam where it will be cut. Let's for example here, I select this edge with Ctrl go higher. Select up to this place, right click, mark seam. Like this, that is. This part will also be a solid one piece, cut only here, at the bottom and top. Imagine that you are making a sketch for a soft toy. If you sew the soft toy later, there will be such pieces and they will be easy to sew. Here I will separate this part along this line. Also maybe not, maybe let's go along this line to the bottom. With the right button, mark seam, that is. This part will already be separated and now this part will probably need to be cut here. We'll cut it like this from the bottom. And here it will be all one piece. Yeah, I think that's good. Let's move on. Let's first cut the back part here. I'll select along the contour. There you go, that is, we will have a regular rectangle on the scan. Then we go further. I select here and here, right click, mark seam. Then the same on this side. You will need to make a seam along the contour of the blade. But look, I'm not going to cut here, where we have the notch. I'll do this. I'll select this whole rectangle or rhombs along the contour. Yes, and then I'll go further. To select the next ones, I hold down Shift and to select a few, I press Ctrl and it selects from the active one. Look, some edges are selected in orange and some in white brighter. And so from white, if you press Ctrl, then from white it goes here, but you can select individual edges separately with Shift. Mark seam, that is, look how we did it. I will not cut these parts, let them be a whole piece. And then there is this. And here we'll have to think about what's best. Yes, we'll probably do it along this line, along the lower line. I think I'll take the lower one, mark seam, and this side. Mark seam. Okay. Yes, we will have such a long piece from here to here. That is, you see how it is connected. It will be a solid figure. And the side parts. We will also have separate pieces. In principle, we finished the markup. Go to UV editing. Press A, turn on the K display here. For some reason it disappears. Press A, the entire model is selected. Press U, unwrap. All our pieces are unwrapped and laid down as we wanted. That is, as Blender considered it is so convenient, it places them so. Now at this stage, what is very important? It is important to switch to a mode when you have synchronization with the viewport of the model. What you select here is selected and here, and switch to the vertex mode. Deselect so that nothing is selected, and check through the menu, select overlap. There may be such moments where the parts of the model intersect. Let me demonstrate how. For example, here they intersect like this. Go to this mode, select overlap, and we highlight those parts that intersect with each other. This is not very good. It needs to be fixed. How to fix it? For example, we can turn off the synchronization mode, go to the vertices, edges, polygons, and whole pieces. To make them visible here, you need to select the entire model. The AK, I select the entire model, and here we have the opportunity to select whole pieces. That is, not one polygon at a time, but in a whole piece. And then move the section or make a different cut. If there is one piece somewhere, but it can clamp one part on another, for example, here, then you will need to make a different markup. Now we are fine. I'll press A, U, unwrap again. And now we have a task to wrap well, so that there are no empty spaces, because empty spaces are not used texture. If it is not used, we lose efficiency. Which means efficiency, that is, the picture will have some pattern here, but it will not be displayed on the axis. That is, we are using computer resources in vain here. So we can first move these pieces to the side and take one by one and put them into lower left corner. That is, fill it with a square, for example like this. Put all these pieces somehow so that they fit into the square, and then we will increase them to full size. Now I will demonstrate it to you. For example, we take this piece and rotate it. We can rotate it. We don't need to increase it, we can also decrease it. We will increase or decrease them all together so that they have the same aspect ratio. Then I can take some square part and put it here. That is, slide them so that they have some space between the parts. You can also rotate them by pressing Ctrl to bend them by 5 degrees. Well, roughly, you see how I came up with the idea. Some parts of it can be put here, you see it first here. That's even how these parts fit here. Well, you see I put in square, and there are still two parts left. Maybe we need to think some other way to pack it all. Yes, indeed, we need to think of someone else. Now let's think. Now we can select all the pieces, press A. Here we switch to 2D cursor. That is, we will scale relative to this cursor, which is in 0 coordinates. Press S and scale to the size of our square. After you have scaling, you can push the object a little more so that they do not interfere with each other, and there are larger distance between them. That's it. We already using our space efficiently. The deployment is over.